I've been watching movies, sipping Kool-Aid, and I feel just like a rock star. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Dear John, the Q&A series that I have right here on ARTV. Dear John is where you ask me a question and I give a detailed answer in video form. So obviously, if you want to see your question answered, please leave it in the comments section down below, starting with Dear John. It's J-O-N, not J-O-H-N. I have a very interesting question this week, and I also have an answer that you might not expect. So where will we end up? Who knows? But our question this week is from Hope Wakefield. Be sure to drop a like on the video, and here we go. Dear John, do you think that rappers are the new rock stars? A simple question, yes, but also one that I feel merits a video response because it actually is a very interesting topic to discuss. We are in 2017, about to go into 2018, and at this current state, rock stars aren't exactly existent anymore. Not in the sense of like how they were in the 70s, the 80s. We don't have Jim Morrison's, Jimi Hendrix, all of these other stars like Roger Waters and all of these other big names. Even the Billy Joe Armstrongs and the Dave Grohls just aren't coming out of this new generation. And while we don't have those names, we do have an influx of rappers, people who live a lifestyle that many would compare to that of a rock star. And rock stars, what are they known for? They're known for excessive partying, getting with lots of people, doesn't really matter who it is, in a sexual way. They're known for pulling lots of women, especially the men of those olden days were, and they're known for doing lots of drugs, drinking, and just having this lavish, out-of-control lifestyle. There's many people that took it way too far and it got the best of them, but at the end of the day, people were still like, oh, he's a rock star. If you ask most people that are fans of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, what are they going to say about lead singer Anthony Kiedis and maybe even the bassist Flea and the rest of the band? Rock stars right there in every sense of the word. They went through it, they played their gigs, they roughed it out, and they made their way to the top, and they started doing drugs, partying, getting everything that they could ever want. And in 2017, who is accomplishing those things? It's not rock bands, because bands are no longer the most popular thing in the world at all. In fact, what is taking the world by storm? Mostly rappers. Whenever I said don't assume my answer to this question, I was saying it because I actually do feel like in a way, or else in several ways, that rappers are the new rock stars. They are filling the shoes of those left behind, and they are doing it kind of on their own outside of the band. Yes, they often have their crew that they roll with, or their posse, their gang that they're posted up with, but at the same time, it's all focused on that one central person, aka what the lead singer was. Now that is the solo rapper, and you have people like Lil Uzi Vert, Lil Pump, all of these other rappers, even Drake, who's made it big time and is known for having that posse around him, having that lavish lifestyle, and just having everything that they want. They have this posh life, they have the cars, the women, whatever else it is. So in a way, I feel like rappers are kind of transitioning into this new role, and they are rock stars not in the sense that they play rock music, but in the sense that they live out that lifestyle and that fantasy that many just have as a dream, something that will never happen to them, but they're always like, wow, that's something that maybe in my wildest dreams I would want to be someday. And rappers are living out those fantasies. And while I don't agree with all of the flexing, all of the stuff, the showing off, the bragging that goes along with it, back in the day, I feel like rock stars would have done this too, especially if they had had social media. And I'm not saying that I feel like, oh, you know, Jim Morrison or Paul McCartney would have hopped on Twitter in 1985 if it had been a thing and been like, oh yeah, just fucked two bitches and, you know, did a line of coke off of a stripper's ass, but you know, whatever, day in the life, hashtag rockstar. Not that I see rappers doing that necessarily now, but you get the point. I feel like people would have done it if it was available. And now rappers are out here showing off their wealth, showing off their material goods that they have and everything that they're able to pull in as a result of all of this money. I don't think that music and money are as much as they used to be, but still, people are obviously still able to get rich. And it's very interesting, and I think a lot of people are talking about this subject now, especially since the #1 song in America at the time of recording this video is Rockstar. And no, not the Nickelback song, it is actually by Post Malone featuring 21 Savage. Post Malone is a guy that I actually really like. His name is Austin Post. You might know him from H3H3 Productions. He's been in some of their videos. He's been on the podcast. And he's a very likable guy. And that's the thing. Some of these rappers, I see them in interviews and they're likable people. Even though I might hate some of their songs, they seem to be likable on some level, at least in the sense like, wow, at least that dude's living out his dreams, I guess. Good for him. I don't understand why your music's popular, but I also didn't probably understand why a lot of the bands that were popular whenever I was growing up were popular. So I have to look at it from that perspective. I think what some of these rappers are doing is okay. I think some of it is absolute shit, and I think a lot of them can be shitty people, but so can rock stars. A lot of rock stars were horrible, despicable people. And we don't see us talking and complaining about that as much. So really, to just point all rappers out as just being the bad guys would be problematic, I think, because it wouldn't make sense, because we'd have to point the fingers back at ourselves and cross-examine all of the rock stars that we put up on this pedestal. I do think the music myself personally is much better from what came from the rock era, and I'm not as into hip-hop and rap, especially not this modern stuff, but the whole trap anthem movement, that's for some people, and it's a phase. It's going to fade out and go away. But rappers, I think, are definitely here to stay. There's always going to be an interest in it from this point forward, and that's absolutely fine. I just hope in the future it's a little bit more of a mix and a blend rather than just one genre dominating. But overall, I think that rappers definitely are living out those rock star dreams that many could only hope to achieve, and that's okay. So here we are. 2017 and rappers becoming the new rock stars. Do you think rappers are the new rock stars, or do you think rockers are the only people who can be rock stars? Maybe I should call them rap stars. Of course, that sounds a bit like Raptors, which is a basketball team that Drake loves, so once again, we're back to hip-hop. It's all just my opinion, guys. This is my detailed Q&A series, so I give my opinion and my answers to these questions. Be sure to leave questions for future episodes of Dear John in the comments section down below. Started off with Dear John so I can find you. Thumbs up some of the ones that you see that you think are really good questions and that I should answer in video form. And other than that, if you're able to, please support me on Patreon. It's the top link in the description down below. You can go directly to my Patreon by tapping that annotation in the corner of the screen over here, or you can see the last episode of Dear John by tapping right here, another recent video right over here, and all of my social media can be found linked in the description down below. Other than that, I'll see you very soon right here on ARTV.